Well, good early morning and welcome to another episode of Business Basics. My guest this morning is Bobby Thompson with Thompson Company Salon and Parlor in downtown Iowa City. Bobby, welcome.
It's great to be here. Thank you. Or hey, in the Zoom world.
Yeah, right. In our Zoom world, exactly. So Bobby, before we get into the detail, tell me a little bit of background about you, your wife Kayla, and how you guys got into Thompson Company.
Sure. 2015 came around. I was running a couple different businesses, hair salons. We had our second child, and Iowa City had always been home. And we found a spot that I'd driven past for 2 years and just kind of wondered what if. And I got the toes to the edge and finally decided to make that jump into business ourselves. And here we are today.
That's fantastic. So now, have you both been in hair care your whole careers, or what's the background on that?
Yeah, I grew up, throughout college and everything else, going into hospitality. And I knew that I loved people, I loved interaction, but I didn't like the hours of the restaurant and bar life. And hair was a different, cocktail to serve.
Okay, you're right.
So it was fun.
And daytime hours, not 3 o'clock in the morning.
Daytime hours, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, especially with 2 kids at home, you've got to make it all balanced, don't you?
We actually got 3 kids at home now. And
well, congratulations.
Yeah, so we're busy. Yeah, we're busy.
Yeah, you're almost busier at home than you are at work sometimes, right?
Amen.
Yeah. So Bobby, tell me this. I was looking on your website. You guys have a fantastic website. I mean, it's just oozes coolness as far as I'm concerned. You got great photos on there, and not your traditional hairstyles, right?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. It's kind of nice being in the college town that we have the ability to do some kind of fun and funky things as well as your traditional, barbering and hair cutting.
That is so cool. And would you say that the college students are your primary target market, or where do you draw from?
Honestly, our motto is community, culture, couture. Community. I mean, people that are here, obviously, whether they're living here permanently or if they're just a 4-year, get an education and kind of input their culture from coming in. We want to just better serve the community as a whole.
Right. And you guys, on your website, I noticed that you've been awarded by like United Way and other organizations who have recognized you for your community involvement. Would you say that's an important aspect of your business?
Absolutely. To us, we're lucky enough to be able to do business within this community. And it's really important for us to be able to get back to it. We have so many great organizations within this small community that, it's kind of hard sometimes to spread ourselves out to all the different ones, but it's MYEP, Tanager Place, as much as we can do with Dance Marathon, as much as we can do with those organizations, United Way, we've been blessed to be able to have the opportunity to.
That's great. And Bobby, how would you recommend to other businesses to get involved with their community? Is it your time? Is it donations? Is it a percentage of, like, on Wednesday, 10% of everything we make is going to go back to United Way? Or how do you guys run that usually?
Well, I think creativity, right? I mean, I think a lot of people, when they think that they have to give something that means a monetary donation, that's not always the case. A lot of the times it's time. And reaching out to people. One of the things that we do is we have MYEP. We have that's Mayor's Youth Empowerment Program. And that's young adults with challenges, mental, physical. But we treat them to a salon day, more or less, where they come in and they get their hair cut once a quarter, and they get to kind of come in and forget all that that's going on the outside and feel good. And same thing with Tanager Place. Once a quarter, we go up there, and that's for kids that, again, just, maybe have had a difficult upbringing or, they get to get cool haircuts. And that's the only worry that they have to worry about. So it's fun.
That's right. That is cool. And something magical happens when you get your haircut or styled. I mean, you just feel like a different person, don't you?
It's crazy what a haircut can do. The way that we say it is, it's the best accessory you can't take off. I can change my shirt, can change my shoes, can't change my haircut. So it's an important one.
Right. It's amazing. It really is. And the lift on people's faces, especially when you're donating that service for someone who maybe couldn't afford it, or just really never thought about it much, and then they see themselves in the mirror afterwards? Wow, right?
Does more for me and the stylist than I'm sure it does for them to see that reaction. So
Yeah, that's pretty special. How many employees do you have? It's you, Kayla, and then you have other employees as well?
yeah, right now we have 10 others,
Okay.
but we fluctuate between 10 to 12 others.
Okay.
We're pretty blessed right now though that the current staff that we've had on, we've had current for the last about year and a half.
Right.
We have, one young lady who's been with us since day one, but most of them have been with us for over 3 years, which has been nice. We preach family, and this is a family-owned business, so we try to create that perfect blend of, obviously having structure and certain things that we follow, but also, people are beautifully different, and
Yes.
we try to accommodate to that. So
I love that expression, beautifully different.
Would you say that that's the number one drawing card why other employees are attracted to work in your business is your approach toward family and that beautifully different atmosphere?
sure, it helps a lot. One of the things is being in the ownership side of it, it's constant adjustment, it's constant learning, right? I think that's a big thing for myself, is learning that some approaches work, some approaches in the past don't work now.
Right.
But it's providing a safe environment and then giving them the opportunity to create and be who they are and still have their own personal identity within, under the brand Thompson Co. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. And that's what you go by, Thompson Co, right? You don't say the whole word, or is it just Thompson? I love that.
We started getting where it was Thompson Co Salon and Parlor, so it was really long-winded. So we actually have shortened it even as much as to Tico.
Yeah, I saw that. Your logo says Tico.
You got it, man.
Tell me more, Bobby, about your brand. I saw you got your own brand of hairspray. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have a couple different products, everything from shampoo to styling aids. For us, branding was a big thing. We wanted to be able to wear, like we just said, the Thompson Co Salon and Parlor. If you see, we have a symbol that's just got the T, the CO. And
Yes.
it's actually a pretty big compliment without being a compliment, but I had a buddy the other day that was, he was at a friend's house in the Chicago area and he was using the washroom. And he sent me a selfie in the washroom going, what the heck? And it was a picture of our hairstyle and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
I love it. That is cool. I mean, so your reach is getting out there. I mean, it's not just Iowa City. I mean, probably 80% or so from Iowa City area, but you're drawing, you're pulling.
Yeah, absolutely. We're blessed that one of the best things about having the student population here is that they graduate and they go become amazing young professionals at other places. And, with personal connection that we try to create here, they take that with them. And, we have friends that still come back from Chicago. I have a gentleman that drives every 2 weeks from Des Moines. It's cool. And, I have one buddy who just traveled across the country on bike. First thing he did when he got back was got his haircut at Tico. It was cool, man. Cool.
I love that. You've got a customer that comes every 2 weeks from Des Moines. Now that's amazing, right? So old school Lee here, right? Every 6 weeks ish, right? I love this. No, I mean, you've inspired your customers that they want to maintain their look.
Absolutely. And I think that's a big part about the business side of it too, that people don't really think about in this industry. We kind of stole the practice from dentistry, but every 6 months at the end of your appointment, what's the first thing you do is you make your next appointment 6 months from now. Well, in the haircutting salon, we know that the one thing that helps us as an industry is that hair continues to grow. And as good of a haircut that we can give, the structure is a haircut that we can give, unfortunately, just like the lawn, it's going to grow out and get kind of unmanageable. A 4 to 6 week time frame is not only important to maintain the level of the quality of the haircut, but also as a business that that guarantees that you have business coming back in every 4 to 6 weeks.
Right. So reappointing is very important to your business.
Absolutely.
And tell me,
one of the most important.
Oh, it is. And Bobby, how else do you stay in contact with your customer base in between appointments?
Yeah, I think one of the things you hit on a little bit earlier, which was super key for us, is our social media. We have an amazing salon coordinator. Her name's Lauren. She deals with everything from reps and vendors to artists coming in, helping manage, what we do every day, but also our social media. And she does a fantastic job of providing, different information, haircuts, and honestly, the stylists do a great job of taking pictures and things like that, but she does a great job of expressing what they're trying to do. And I think that's huge. I think, the following of people seeing their picture up on social media or their haircut, and you talk about that feeling cool. When you feel cool and then you get to feel cool in front of everyone on social media platform, oh yeah, man, that's awesome. So,
it's a rock star feeling. It really is.
Absolutely.
It's cool.
So, okay, you guys opened in 2015. Bobby, tell me, COVID-19 affected everybody worldwide. What did you guys do differently to pivot through COVID-19?
Man, that was a crazy time. I remember we decided to make a tough call. We closed down about a week earlier before it was mandated. We were one of the first to say that, it's being a family-owned business, and it's not only our families that are in here, but also the people that come and visit us that for the time being, until we knew more, we had to shut down. The minute that those doors shut, we didn't stop. We reached out, some friends over at Mercy Hospital that are in emergency medicine, and we started immediately coordinating, planning, and listening on what they said the best sound practices were to make sure that we can keep people safe when we come back in these walls. We worked with, Dr. David Krupp, Masters of Wellness, and went through things with that. Step by step, he came through. My good friend Josh Eastfold, who's also an ER doctor over there, and we set up a plan. And I think that was the biggest thing is, there was no pamphlet or manual that stated this is how to react to a pandemic. So we kind of had to just take the bull by the horns and create something on our own. So a couple things that we do every single guest, and we've done with every single guest and will do with every single guest coming up, is that you have pre-screening coming into Thompson Co. First off, there's a couple, let me even step up before that. There's a couple signs that are going to take you through what's going to happen once you open up those doors. It's also posted on our social media as well as our webpage. When we start doing that, come through the doors, first thing you do is hand sanitize. Then we take the temperature. From there, we ask you a series of questions of, have you displayed any symptoms? If you have not, after that point, you sign a waiver. It is a mask mandatory space. You have to have a mask coming into Thompson Co. It's that simple. And I know I don't have one on now, but as soon as we have people start coming in, I will.
Right.
Every chair is disinfected between. We have sanitizers that disinfect the chairs, the shampoo bowls between every guest. Hand washing, we have a UV blue ray light machine that all the utensils is a single utensil use that gets put into there and is sterilized. And up to this point, it's that's what we feel we've done a pretty good job of moving. The other thing that people don't realize is every 15 minutes we do step away for a second, regardless if they know that or not.
Oh, really?
Because CDC, one of the guidelines is that 15 minutes or more of contact. Now, we don't have direct face-to-face, which is actually really nice because we're kind of offset.
Right.
And we will walk away from that person just to kind of clear the space for a second. And one of the things that's cool about that, I'm very proud about this number. I know it's kind of one of those things that's, I asked Lauren, should we talk about it? Should we not? I know it's kind of a sensitive thing, but a number that I'm very proud of is, as of 2 Mondays ago, so about 2 weeks ago, we had 5,403 reservations at Thompson Co. come through since May 15th.
Wow,
out of
that's
those
fantastic.
5,403, we have had 0 incidents, and I'm extremely proud of that.
You should be. That's excellent. Yeah, that's
What's impressive to me is 0 incidents, of course, but also as a business owner, your numbers. You're tracking that.
Absolutely. Numbers are a key part of any business, and it doesn't change with COVID.
No, especially during COVID, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you need to know that. And several small business owners don't want to think about their numbers, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are tracking that. It helps for historical, but more for forecasting.
Absolutely. We're kind of seeing what's going on, and it's also because there was no manual, there was no right way to do things. It's given us confidence in what we do every day, and it's kind of said, hey, keep the ship going straight.
Yeah, exactly right. So tell me, a new business, someone wants to hang out their shingle. You guys have been at this for 5 years. What's your piece of advice? What's your wisdom you want to give to that one nugget? What would that be, Bobby?
Have your morals, have your ideals, have the things that you're gonna build that business on. Have those structures there, and don't change them. But don't be afraid to audible. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. If something isn't working, hold true for a little bit, and then just like a good football team, call an audible on. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And tell me, what is your daily inspiration? What is it that supercharges Bobby every day?
Honest to God, it's the staff and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
To see how unbelievably talented and energetic but supportive. A lot of the times in this industry, you get the superstar mentality, and to see these young people come together as a family and a team and completely 100% buy in, but then be so incredibly gifted at what they do, and then to see my wife as the person that can kind of pull it all together. It's just, how do you not get inspired by that?
That's right. That's cool. That's great. Well, Bobby, don't go away. Hey, thanks everybody for watching this episode of Business Basics. We had T & Co or T-Co, right? I love that. It's you look at it on the website, you might say Thompson Co, but it's T-Co. And our special guest, of course, was Bobby Thompson. Thanks again, Bobby, for being here. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
You bet.